Hey guys, it's Erica here from Big Cat Creative, and today I want to weigh up the pros and cons of investing in a Squarespace template kit or a custom website design to help you make the right decision for your business. So, should you purchase a template or invest in a custom web design? This is a very valid question and a question that I get a lot. At Big Cat Creative, we sell Squarespace templates and we don't offer custom design, but I'm going to be completely unbiased with this because I believe there is a place and a need for both of these options, and I want to make sure that you are making the right decision for where you're at in your business. So let's get started, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be super clear on how to move forward. So let's start with Squarespace templates. Squarespace templates, or sometimes called Squarespace Template Kits or Squarespace themes, there's a lot of names, but they're developed by third-party businesses like myself to help you build your new Squarespace website on your own. They vary between each provider, but usually they come with a package of editable graphics and step-by-step tutorials to show you how to set your website up from scratch. No two template providers offer exactly the same process, so just make sure you know what you're getting before you invest. Prices for these templates range anywhere from $80 to $500 depending on where you're purchasing from. So the pros of Squarespace templates, or any website templates generally. They're much cheaper than custom web design. You learn how to build and use your site in the process of building the template, so you can easily make changes to it down the track. So there's sort of like two bonuses there. You get to choose the design you like, and you have complete control over it. On the flip side, the cons of the Squarespace templates are that usually they're a DIY install, or they do take quite a lot of DIY work, so this takes time and effort on your part. It is a template, so it will never be completely custom to your business, but this just depends on how much you edit it really. And finally, you don't have that one-on-one professional designer support that you would with a custom design. When should you use a Squarespace template? I would strongly recommend using a Squarespace template kit when you're just starting your business or you're in the first year or so. This is just because your business will change within the first year. You may not foresee it changing, but I can almost guarantee that it will. And I'm not saying you'll completely revamp your whole business within a year, but you will definitely change and tweak things in the beginning. This is almost certain. So if you're working from a template, then you can go in and tweak it yourself because you built the website yourself in the beginning. You'll be able to do these changes yourself. If you've invested thousands in something custom and your business model changes, you'll not only have wasted a lot of money that you probably don't even have yet, but you'll probably won't have the skills to be able to tweak and change your website, and you'll have to rehire your designer to make changes for you, which ends up being really costly. Now, of course, you can use the Squarespace templates to build your site at any stage of your business. It doesn't just have to be at the beginning, but this is usually the case. In the beginning of your business, you usually have less resources, less money to invest, and you need something that is more adaptable and you can take complete control over. For most small businesses, a template will suffice. But if you're worried that a template doesn't have all of the features you need for your website, just reach out to the provider and ask. In most cases, they'd be more than happy to help answer your questions and steer you in the right direction and give you a recommendation on whether they think a template will work for you. If they're not willing to give you any of this advice, then I don't recommend choosing a template from them. Go with someone else. Red flag. And if the template you want doesn't have a certain feature you need, you can always hire someone hourly to add it in for you, which is often still a much cheaper option than getting something completely custom. So if you're in the earlier stages of business, have a smaller budget, really want to learn how to build and update your site yourself so you can take complete control of it, then I recommend looking into a Squarespace template. Now let's get into custom web design. Getting a custom Squarespace design is pretty self-explanatory. You hire a professional to build your website for you from scratch. Obviously, the process will be different depending on who you plan to hire, so do your research. Prices for a custom design range anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 and up, probably. This depends totally on what you need. Often website designers will have a set amount and then charge you extra for extra pages and features. So the pros of getting a custom web design is that you'll get a completely custom design, so it won't look like anything else. Hopefully, as long as you have a good designer and you're not working from a template that everyone else is working from. You'll be working one-on-one with a designer, so you get that professional design support. And your designer should be able to add integrations and custom-coded features that are harder to add when you're doing it by yourself. So the cons of getting a custom design, number one, it's a really large investment. It can take a long time to complete also, so depending on your designer's process, it could potentially take months, But again, just do your research because some people will get it done in 5 days, depending on who you're talking to. You might have to rehire the designer to make changes to your website down the track instead of making them yourself. So this is likely going to be extra time and an extra charge. But because you haven't built the website yourself and you might not know exactly how to make those changes, you probably will have to rehire your designer or another designer. Custom websites are amazing, but they are an investment. So I recommend only investing in a custom website design once you've been in business for at least a year and you're sure you have a really solid plan of what your business does and what your business message is. You're likely spending a lot of money on this website, so if you decide you want to change it a couple of months down the track, which very often happens in the first year of business, it's going to be a huge waste of money, honestly. You'll not only be scrapping a large part of the website that you've already paid a lot for, but you'll also probably have to rehire a designer to make the new changes. I also say after 1 year because hopefully after 1 year in business, you'll have the available funds to make this investment without going into debt. You want to make sure that you have the income to support investing in something custom because you really don't want to be getting yourself into too much debt at any point of your business. And of course, there are some cases where I think you can invest in custom design before you've been in business for a year. Sometimes depending on what you need, this is just inevitable and a template just will never work for you. But make sure you have the available funds to do so and make sure that you're completely set on your business direction and message. If you do plan to get a custom design, that's awesome, but I also highly recommend hiring someone who plans to show you how to make updates to your site or make sure that it's already in your budget to hire someone on a monthly basis, maybe on a retainer or just a few hours a month, because I can almost guarantee that you'll want to make changes to your content no matter how long you're in business for. Websites are things that sort of never really are done, I'm sorry to say, they're just not. You'll always want to make updates, and so you'll need to make sure you have support in that area for changes that you want to make. Don't be fooled into thinking that just because you need a certain feature, plugin, app, or something installed into your website that you have to get a completely custom website design. If this is the only reason you're opting for something custom, then just rethink this a little bit, because you can easily install a template and then hire a custom designer / developer on an hourly basis to add the feature you want in. Just make sure you check with the template designer and a developer or designer that this is actually something that is possible and that they can do before you go ahead investing in anything. Custom websites can be amazing, so if you're in the right stage of business and financially ready to invest, then I recommend going for it. Before you go, I do have one last important note on choosing a template and a custom designer though. So if you're considering investing in a custom design, please pick your designer carefully. There are so many Squarespace designers on the internet these days. It's just so easy to spend a small fortune on something that you could probably do yourself with a template, or you could skimp out and get a custom design for cheap that really ends up just being awful. Because Squarespace is such a user-friendly platform, literally anyone can claim that they're a Squarespace designer. So it's important to do lots of research before you hire anyone. Make sure the designer is legitimate and that you've seen previous work that they've done, and make sure they have lots of good testimonials. Get on a phone call with them and make sure it feels like a good fit, and make sure you sign a contract. Because we sell Squarespace template kits, we hear from a lot of people who have been burned by custom web designers. They've spent a lot of money, they've been ghosted, they just don't like their website in the end, so just really do your research before you start. And of course, on the flip side of that, you'll also want to really do your research when you're purchasing a Squarespace template. Similarly, there are tons of Squarespace template designers out there these days too, but not all templates are made equal. And you'll get a whole different process and different resources with your template depending on who you buy from. So make sure you're fully aware of what you're buying. I wouldn't purchase based on design alone, and you'll want to look at what's included, what kind of support service they offer, customer testimonials, and examples of customer designs using the templates, and then you can weigh up your options. I hope this helps you decide on what method is going to be right for your business. If you have any questions about this or our Squarespace template kits, feel free to drop them down below or flick us an email and we'll be happy to answer those for you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.